Hello, and thank you for joining CCN's 3 Minutes. I'm host Frank Byrne. Vanderbilt University is one of the most highly regarded academic institutions in the country, but little did you know there are many social problems on campus. Elizabeth Lingo, professor at Vanderbilt University, has developed a class, one credit, called Fix It. The goal of the class is to identify social problems on campus and attempt to fix them. Joining us from class are two freshmen, Jordan Zotter and Jack Delehey. Well, thank you for joining us, gentlemen. I have to ask you, what surprised you about the fix-it process?
I'd say the biggest surprise for me, aside from the difficulties of addressing the problems we had, were the multiple layers of management that one has to go through to gain permission to act. There's so many people that would just defer to someone at a higher level that it got really frustrating at some point.
I definitely agree with that. First, Frank, I love the name. Also, you're a great-looking guy. But secondly, I'd say that it was definitely hard to talk to the right person. It felt like at times we would email people and we wouldn't get a response, or we didn't actually know who to talk to in the process, and it definitely took a while. Absolutely fascinating. Now, gentlemen, did you learn anything about yourself in the process?
What did I learn about myself? I learned that maybe at times I'm a little bit too complacent. I knew at the beginning of the year when I couldn't find my classes that when it took me 3 months to figure out that one classroom was right next to the other in Stevenson, just different buildings because of the structure, I knew it was a problem, but I didn't think I could actually be influential in fixing it. But by taking this course, I learned that just a little bit of action and a little help from a group and a professor, you can actually be influential on Vanderbilt's campus.
Let's see. I'd say that the biggest thing I learned was that my persistence is going to be key in life. I really didn't think it was going to be as big of an issue just being able to figure out who to contact, but I realized after days, weeks of emails and trying to figure out who to contact, really it just came down to persistence, and eventually it ended up working out. Okay. Now, was there anything that worked well, or what would you do differently to solve problems going forward? What new approaches or insights will you embrace going forward, if any? All right, I'll take this one first. I honestly think the biggest thing that I learned was that attitude is the key to everything. We went in and talked to Camp Howard with kind of an attitude of more curiosity rather than a demanding approach. Actually, students 24 hours before us went in and had a little different approach that was a lot more demanding, and they didn't get the results that we did. We learned a lot more, and camp honestly was just a lot more appreciative of us showing up and asking questions. So I think that would be the most important thing that I learned in the process was to just go in and have a good attitude, and results will follow.
Well, Frank, I would say that timing, I learned, is crucial in solving problems. Because most people adapt to Stevenson Center as the semester goes on. You learn what door to go in for your class, you learn where to leave. Since we attacked our problem in week 10 of the semester, when we went in for our pilot and to do our research, if you sat outside and you tried to watch people like who would get lost or ask people if they knew how to get to their classroom, most people would say yes. They didn't really think of it as an issue. But if you were to go in at the beginning of the semester where nobody knows where room 1209 is, you would find multiple people frantic to find their classroom, even people who would probably skip a class because they don't know how to get there. So I'd say the importance of timing in gaining proper research is just crucial overall. And also, I never really recognized how important it is to go into the field and talk to the people who are faced with the problems. When we went and we talked to our professors, wondering how many students they think don't show up for office hours just because the Stevenson Center is so confusing, they can't find their office, we were shocked at how many professors figured a quarter of their students would not come just because they didn't know how to get there. So overall, just talking to people really helped.
Now, as our show is titled 3 Minutes, I have to keep this short. But do you have any additional reflections on the Fix It seminar as a whole? Frank, to be brief, I gotta say, I enjoyed the class thoroughly. Working with people in our grade provided an effective group dynamic where everyone really felt free to share their opinion.
Following as he's saying, I think it really helped to be able to talk to people in the same situation as myself, and I really realized from this class, as I said, you can be influential on this campus. It just takes a little effort and a little ambition. And overall, I think if this became a 3 credit course, the ability to actually solve these problems and actually improve Stevenson, actually improve the meal plan, would vastly improve.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us this week on the set. This is Frank Byrne reporting from Curb Center News' 3 Minutes. Next week, please join us when we interview Bill Buckner, Beantown's infamous legend. Thank you.